So let's start. Number 1, in an obligation to deliver a generic. Alright. So RFPT na naman tayo. Remember guys, 3 week na. Alright. So ibig sabihin, natapos mo na lahat. Right? Ngayon, we are just going to go over the concepts again para lang matulungan ka mag-recon. Alright? Malapit naman na. Okay, don't worry. Konting days na lang and CPA ka na. Alright? So let's start. Number 1, in an obligation to deliver a generic thing. Right? So generic, generic. Ang sagot natin dito guys, letter B. Alright? Now, letter B, obviously, kasi ano siya? Alright? Ano tawag dito? Generic yan. Yung letter A, hindi pwede. Okay? Kasi, syempre, that applies to all obligations. Kahit generic siya. Alright? Letter C, hindi rin pwede yan kasi yung right of choice, alternative obligations lang yan nangyayari. Alright? And, syempre, yung debtor po talaga ang may right of choice by default. Alright? And loss, fortuitous event, hindi rin pwede yan kasi yung generic guys, assumption, pag may nawalang isa, yung buong class nandun pa, may iwan yung iba. Alright? Now, letter B ang sagot natin kasi remember, ito yung concept ng medium quality. Alright? Kasi, kung hindi stipulated kung alin yung ano, kung ano mismo, syempre, kasi generic nga, yung debtor po ang pipili among doon sa class or doon sa members of the class, ang kung alin yung ibibigay sa'yo. Right? Kunyari yan ay kabayo, well, kabayo yung ibigay niya sa'yo. Okay? Now, ang pinaka-limitation na lang dyan is yung doctrine of medium quality. Okay? So, yung nasa 1246, Article 1246, yung creditor, hindi pwedeng pumili ng mas maganda or superior. Yung debtor, hindi rin naman pwedeng pumili ng mas pangit or yung inferior. Okay? So, remember ha, pag generic thing, ganun man. Yung choice nyo, while the debtor has the choice to exercise the choice, hindi niya pwedeng piliin yung mas pangit than the normal, at hindi rin mo pwedeng tumanggi yung creditor dahil ang nakuha niya is yung normal lang, hindi yung mas magandang version. Yung doctrine of medium quality. Alright? So, number 1, letter B. Number 2, A is obliged to deliver the Rolex to be on December 1. Okay, which one is false? Ang sagot natin dito guys, letter D. Alright? Yung letter C, huwag mo na napansinin. Ito ha, yung choice letter C, huwag mo napansinin. Yung letter A, alright? Tama yan, true yan, kasi you have to take care of it. Yung diligence of a good father. Lagi pong meron yan. Unless of course stipulated. Alright? Now, yung letter B naman, okay, true din yan kasi nga, this applies to all types of obligations actually. Yung loss, okay, by negligence. Kasi diba, those who in the performance of their obligation are guilty of fraud, negligence, delay, or any manner contravene the tenor shall be liable for damages. Right? Again, yung letter C, huwag mapansinin ha. Letter D, bakit yan false? Kasi guys, wala namang indication dito na magiging false siya. Kasi wala naman sinabi. So, okay lang. Alright? So, again ha, remember, letter D is false. Alright? Ayan, statement. Accessions are necessary, right? Accessions are necessary for the principal thing. Statement 2, okay, accessories are not necessary, but both must go together. So, ang sagot natin dito guys, both are true. Okay, so it just goes into the definitions or the nature of accessions and accessories. Right? Remember guys, yung accessions, yan yung natural or artificial additions to the property. Right? So, dito, generally, considered yan as part of the principal thing. So, hindi sila separate, they are really part of the principal thing. So, part sila ng principal. Okay? Now, yung accessories naman, are not inherently part of the thing. Okay? But they are there to enhance the value or to perfect the thing, so to speak. Alright? Yung kumaga, pwede mong magamit or kompleto na yung thing. Alright? Kompleto na yung thing, even without accessories. Alright? But they generally go together also. Alright? Kumaga, okay, kunyari, meron kang phone or meron kang cellphone, tapos yung headset. Diba? Accessory lang yung headset, but the phone can function without it. Alright? So again ha, yung accessions again, they are generally considered as part of the principal thing. The accessories hindi, but they have to go together. So both the statements are true. Number 4, a source of liability. Sources of liability guys, ano nga yun? 1170, di ba? So, fraud, negligence, delay, or in any manner contravene the tenor. Alright? So anong tamang sagot natin dito? Letter C. Alright? So dolo incidente. Now remember lang, okay, yung dolo causante, letter A, bakit siya mali? Kasi guys, yung dolo causante, hindi po source of liability yan. Yan ay defect sa contract, di ba? Defect. Ano mangyayari pag may dolo causante? Magiging voidable. Yung pare delicto, yan ay concept na pareho kayong at fault. Okay, pareho kayong at fault. Or pareho kayong, pareho kayong maling ginawa. Okay, so nagka-cancel out yun. Yung culpa achilleana, yan naman ay source of obligation. Ito po yung ito po yung negligence, alright? Ito po yung dito, quasi-delict na tinatawag, alright? So again ha, kailangan alam mo rin yung you need to have some idea kung ano yung mga Latin terms nila, alright? So again ha, yung pinaka-important dito is you need to know the difference between dolo causante, okay, at the time of perfection, or dolo incidente, yan po yung at the time of performance. So, source of liability, yung dolo incidente kasi at the performance. Alright? Sige, letter C ha. Number 5. Statement 1, if the law does not state the diligence which is to be observed in the performance of your obligation, neither party is liable for negligence. Alright? So, false yun. Okay, mamaya. Now, statement 2, if the party is negligent and at the same time in bad faith, he shall be liable for damages by reason of fraud. Alright? So, statement 1, hindi pwedeng maging true yan. Right? So, wait lang, sorry. Ang sagot pala is letter B. Alright? So, hindi pwedeng true yung B, or kaya nga siya false, is because remember, inherent po sa obligation di ba? Na you need to take care of it in the obligation to give, you need to take care of the thing with with the proper diligence or good father of a family. Okay, unless you stipulate na may iba or yung batas nagre-require ng ibang level. Alright? Tapos, sabi rin sa 1173, kapag walang sinabi, either wala kang stipulation or walang explicit na sinabi ang batas, ano raw ang gagawin mo? Yung good father of a family pa rin. So, ang point lang is, hindi pwedeng wala. Okay, hindi pwedeng wala. You will become liable for negligence because the law tells us na meron pong default. Merong, even if you did not stipulate or even if silent yung batas, meron po tayong sinusunod na degree of diligence. Alright? Which is yung good father of a family. Statement 2. Okay, bakit true yan? Kasi remember, kapag yung negligence mo ay sobrang lala, okay, and it indicates bad faith, okay, you're liable for fraud. Okay, 1173 din po yan, by express provision of law. Alright? Yung negligence dyan ay sobrang lala. Yung parang, as if parang hindi ka na nag-ingat at all. Alright? So, again, number 5, letter B ang sagot natin. Okay? Statement 1 is false, statement 2 is true. Number 6. A and B by their joint act of negligence cost X the sum of 10,000 pesos. Okay, joint act of negligence. Alright, letter C po ang sagot dyan. So, ano yan joint tortfeasor ang tawag, joint tortfeasor. Yung kumbaga, syempre pag mag-isa ka lang, ikaw lang yon. Tapos, kapag dalawa kayo, normally, di ba guys, ang default rule kasi, ang general rule natin, kapag hindi sinabi ng batas, joint lang ang liability pag multiple. Di ba? Pero this one, itong instance na ito, specific po yung batas dyan. Na kapag meron kayong joint act of negligence, okay, actually sinabi pagka liable kayo for quasi-delicts, which is negligence also, specific po yung batas na solidary. Alright? So this is one instance na may specific provision of law designating solidary liability. Okay? Sige. So letter C ha. Number 7. A is obliged to give B his Mitsubishi 4-door sedan, a Lancer with a plate number ABC123 on September 30, 2061. Alright? So specific thing kasi may plate number na. Alright? Now, on October 10, 20X1, A did not yet deliver the car which was totally destroyed by an earthquake on such day. Is A still liable? Alright? So, may fortuitous event. Now guys, ingat ha, hindi porket may fortuitous event ay extinguish ng obligation. Okay, pero, tingnan mo munang mabuti. The answer here is letter A. Okay? Kasi baka isipin mo, ano na to lampas na siya. Di ba? September 30 dapat, tapos October 10, hindi pa niya na-deliver. Sir, in delay na yan or in default na yan. Hindi po ganon. Alright? Remember, bago ka maging in delay or in default, kailangan mo na may demand. Okay? Hindi porket may date na nakasabi, ay automatic na kapag lumipas yung date na yan, magiging in delay ka na or in default. Hindi ganun yun. Okay, kailangan may demand pa rin. Kasi ano yung rule natin? No demand, no delay, no demand, no default. Alright, so the answer for number 7 is letter A. Number 8. A owes B 10,000 pesos. Okay, to be paid after 1 year. As a security, A mortgages his car in favor of B. Alright? But before the due date, okay, the car is lost by a fortuitous event. Alright, so nakapagsangla siya, but yun nga lang, fortuitous event. So probably, pinaha or nanakaw, yung mga ganyang bagay. Alright, now, so which one of the following statements are true? Okay? Ano sagot natin dito? Okay, ano sagot natin dyan? Letter B. A does not lose the benefit of the period if he gives another security equally satisfactory. Now guys, ang pinupuntirya dito, right, is yung benefit of the period. Okay, kasi di ba obligation with the period ito, clearly, di ba, after 1 year. So remember lang, na yung benefit of the period, ang default rule natin dyan, okay, kunyari, silent. The period is for the benefit of both. Okay, the debtor and the creditor. So anong ibig sabihin ng benefit of the period yun? Now, ang sabi lang, ng benefit of the period, okay, is before the period arrives, the creditor cannot demand, payment. Alright? Cannot demand payment. Neither can the creditor be compelled to accept payment. Alright? Kasi para sa benefit niya yung period. On the flip side, yung debtor naman, alright, cannot be compelled. Okay? The debtor cannot be compelled, okay, to pay before the period arrives. Kasi para sa benefit din niya yung period na yan. Alright? So again ha, pag walang sinabi, the period benefits both parties. Ibig sabihin, creditor cannot be compelled to accept payment before the period. At the same time, the debtor cannot be compelled to pay, okay, or to perform the obligation before the period arrives. Alright? Now, yung period na yan, as to the debtor, can be lost. Alright? So, ang tinatanong dito is 1198. Okay? So, 1198 guys, the debtor shall lose every right to make use of the period. Apat yan. Okay, apat yan. I suggest, silipin mo na. Pero dito, tingnan mo ha, particularly, I think this is the third one. Ay, sorry. The third one. Okay? Ito yung mga, even if, okay, tingnan mo, yung mortgage. So, yan yung security. Correct? Security. Paano siya nawala? Fortuitous event. So, guys, kapag yung security po ito, hindi po ito yung main thing. Ito yung security lang, yung sinangla lang. Okay? If the security is lost, even by a fortuitous event, pwedeng mawala yung period sa'yo bilang isang debtor. Okay, pwede. You will lose the benefit of the period even if the security is lost by a fortuitous event. Unless you give another security. Okay, that is equally satisfactory. Alright? So, pwede mong makuha yung period ulit, or you can prevent the loss of the period kung mapalitan mo yung security na nawala. Okay? So, probably it's equally satisfactory, probably pwedeng ibang kotse. Alright? Or something else entirely, as long as okay dun sa creditor. Alright? So, again guys, please, okay, kailangan mo silipin yung listahan na nasa 1198. When do you use the benefit of the period? Okay? Sige. Number 9. In case both parties have committed a breach of the obligation. Alright? Letter D ang sagot dyan. Okay? The liability of the first infractor shall be equitably tempered by the court. Alright? Now, ang assumption dyan, okay, this is I think 1192, okay, if I'm not mistaken. This is Article 1192. Okay? So, assumption dito, in order for letter D to be correct, assumption dyan, alam mo kung sino yung nauna. So, successive. Okay? Successive yung breach. May naunang nag-breach and then afterwards, may nag-breach ulit. Okay? Now, kapag successive, the liability of the first infractor shall be tempered. So, ibig sabihin, nababawasan. Kasi nga, nag-breach din yung isa eh. Alright? So, mababawasan ang liability mo. Now, ang bantayan mo dito is, kapag kunyari, minodify ang question, minodify ang problem, tapos ang nilabas, paano kung hindi mo malaman? Alright? Paano kung hindi mo alam kung sino yung nauna, sino yung nauli? Alright? Or kunyari, sabay sila, nag-breach for some reason. Okay? Anong mangyayari doon? Yan po ay extinguished na. Alright? If it cannot be determined who violated the contract first, so meaning hindi mo alam kung sinong nauna, then the contract is extinguished already. Alright? Tapos, kanya-kanya na lang na-damage din. Alright? So again nangyayari lang yon kung hindi mo alam kung sinong nauna. Pero syempre, if it is determinable kung sinong nauna, sino yung pangalawa, sino yung pangatlo, all of those things, ito po ang sasagot mo, letter D. Alright? The liability of the first infractor shall be equitably tempered. Alright? Number 9, letter D po ang sagot natin. 10. Okay? Statement 1. In an alternative obligation, either party may choose as to who has the right of choice. Alright? False po yan false yan. Alright? Statement 2. If it is the creditor who has the right of choice, he loses the choice if all the prestations are lost by the fault of the debtor. False din yan. So the answer is letter D. Bakit? So statement 1 muna. Remember, in alternative obligation, okay, the right of choice is with the debtor. Okay? Unless okay, it has been expressly granted to the creditor. So hindi po pwedeng maging true yung statement 1 kasi malinaw yung batas natin, the right of choice belongs to the debtor. Okay? Tapos, kailan lang nagiging sa creditor yan? When it is expressly granted to the creditor. Alright? So hindi kung alin lang ang gusto nyo, hindi ganun. Alright? Meron pong rules na sinusunod. Statement 2. Okay? Now, kapag yung creditor yung right of choice, so that means anong nangyari? It was expressly granted to the creditor. Yun ang nangyari dyan, Now, he loses his choice if all the prestations are lost by the fault of the debtor. Now, kapag lost po sa fault ng debtor, what happens? Okay, what happens? Yan po yung rules na sinusunod mo sa Article 1205. Alright? Now, kapag lost lahat ay nawala through the fault of the debtor. Okay? Hindi po nawawala yung right of choice ng creditor. Kasi wala naman siya kasalanan doon eh. Di ba? Wala naman siya kasalanan doon. So ano nangyayari? Pwede po niyang piliin yung price ng kahit alin doon. Okay? So kung nawala lahat by the fault of the debtor, yung choice ni creditor nandun pa rin. Yun nga lang, syempre, hindi na niya pwedeng piliin yung thing, yung mga price na lang nila. Okay? With damages. Okay, remember nangyayari lang po yung statement 2 kapag fault ni debtor. Okay? Kailangan fault ni debtor. Otherwise, ibang situation. Alright, so for number 10, both statements are false. Alright. Contracts naman. Okay? This kind of defective contract refers to that contract which is validly agreed upon because all the essential elements exist, but courts can nullify it when there is damage or prejudice to one of the parties, okay, to a third person. Its enforcement would cause injustice, okay, by reason of some internal. Alright. So, anong contract ito? Okay? Pag nakita mong the defect is caused by external facts, yan ay rescissible. Okay, rescissible contract po yan. Kaya remember yung defect ng rescissible contract, external. Okay, external kasi magkakaroon ng damage. Okay, magkakaroon ng damage sa ibang tao. Alright? So, again, kapag rescissible po, remember, the defect is from external factors. Okay? Sige. So, number 11, letter C, definition na. Number 12, contracts are effective and binding only between the parties, their assigns, and their heirs. Okay, that is your relativity. Okay, relativity. Letter B po. Where one of the parties to the contract dies, therefore a suit is filed on the basis of this contract. Ayun, pwede. Alright, kasi the contract is binding not only within the parties, but also to their assigns, kung binenta nila, or to their heirs. Ito po, yun yung kapag may namatay, di ba? Pag may namatay. Okay? So, hindi po ibig sabihin na kapag namatay na, wala nang obligation yung mga heirs. Meron pa po yan as a general rule. Yun nga lang, as you learned in your tax law, hindi lang lalampas dun sa minana yung liability. Alright? So ilan lang yung minana niya, yun lang ang liability. Okay, yung sa assets. Alright. So letter B ang sagot ha. This is an example of relativity of contract. Alright. Number 13. Three of the following enumerations are exceptions provided by law, okay, which does not belong to the exception. Alright, so ayun lang. Similar pala to dun sa kanina. Pero anyway, yung exceptions guys, ibig sabihin exception to relativity. Okay, related to dun sa number 12. Alright, so exceptions to relativity. Di ba ano yung relativity ulit? Just to recall, contracts take effect between the parties, their heirs, and their assigned. So generally, dun lang po nag-take effect ang contract. Kapag ikaw ay third person, yung contract ay dapat walang effect sa'yo. Okay? Kasi, syempre, sila lang naman ang nag-usap doon. Bakit ka maapektuhan? Okay? So, of course, gaya ng maraming concept sa batas natin, may general rule, meron din tayong exception. This one, yung letter A, exception. Yan. Kasi if there is a stipulation in favor of a third party, ano ibig sabihin nun? Yan yung for autre we. Okay? For autre we, di ba? Exception yun. Kayo nag-usap, pero may effect sa third person. Next, letter C. The obligations arising from contract are not transmissible by their nature. So, ano ibig sabihin naman ito? Hindi po siya mag-take effect sa heirs mo. Okay? Or sa assign. Ibig sabihin sa'yo lang. Purely personal sa'yo. Alright? So, hindi po mag-take effect yung relativity. So, kasi personal nga sa'yo. So, kapag hindi ikaw gagawa, hindi pwede. Alright? Letter D, obligations arising from the contract are not transmissible by stipulation or provision of law. Alright? So, again, this is similar. Personal pa din. Ibig sabihin, ikaw lang ang pwede. Anong difference niya sa C? Ito, by its nature. Tapos, by stipulation. Yung sa D, by stipulation, nag-agree kayo. Yung isa naman, by provision. Alright? Sige. So, number 13, related po ito sa number 12. Letter B ang sagot. 14. Which of the following contracts cannot be ratified? Okay, which of the following contracts cannot be ratified? All right. So, ang sagot natin dito is of course letter A. Kasi yan yung void. Void contract yan. Kasi cause or object did not exist, ibig sabihin kulang yung COC. Void yan. Those things cannot be ratified. Kasi, remember guys, yung void contract, wala talagang contract dun eh. Okay, wala talaga. All right? Kasi kulang nga ng COC, di ba? So, what happened? Wala kang, kahit gusto mong i-ratify, wala kang i-ratify. Kaya hindi siya pwede. All right? Now, letter B, unauthorized, of course. Subject to ratification yan. Okay, kasi that's part of your unenforceable contract. Same thing with letter C. Alright, incapable of giving consent. Okay, ano yan? Part yan ng unenforceable. Okay, and pati yung statute of frauds. Ganun din yun, unenforceable. Yan po actually yung tatlong klaseng unenforceable contract. Alright, so number 14, letter A ang sagot. Alright, so, next. Number 15, three of the following contracts are void. Which one is valid? Alright, so, ang sagot natin dito guys is actually A or D. Okay, A or D. Okay, sorry, hindi pa na 3 are the following are void, pero A or D ito. Bakit? Alright? So, ito pong letter A, valid yan. Kasi remember, under Article 1772, alright? Failure to comply with this thing, yung requirement, diba? Kasi kapag lumampas ka na ng okay, more than 3,000 pesos na yung capital mo, you need to put that in a public instrument, tapos i-record mo sa, or register mo sa Securities and Exchange Commission, pero may karugtong yun. Okay, may karugtong. Shall not affect daw. Okay, shall not affect the liability of the partnership and of the members to third person. Alright? So, kahit di mo sundin yun, may partnership pa din. Alright? So, valid siya. Okay? Kasi, bakit naman sasabihin ng batas na yung liability of the partnership and of the members? Pinaghiwalay niya, di ba? May partnership, may members. So, ibig sabihin, the law recognizes na may partnership pa rin. Alright? Sige. And letter D. Okay, letter D. Sure, akala ko ba void yung ganyan? Hindi So, remember, the agent's authority to sell the property is given orally. Hindi po lahat. Alright? Kasi yung agent's authority to sell, ang bakang naaalala mo is yung Article 1874. Yung when a sale of a piece of land is made through an agent, the authority of the agent shall be in writing, otherwise the sale is void. Okay? So tingnan mo, kapag po may agent or ahente ka, dalawang contract talaga pinag-uusapan dyan. On one hand, yung agency, okay, yung contract mo with the agent, tapos, on the other hand, yung contract of sale or whatever it is. So dalawa po. Remember, kailan nagiging void? Okay? Kailan nagiging void yung contract of sale? Kapag ang subject matter is land, okay, land, tapos yung authority ng agent is not in writing. Alright? So, kailangan po yung binibenta ay land. Okay? Tapos, number 2, ano pang tatandaan mo dun? Ano ba ang nagiging void? Sabi po ng batas natin, ang nagiging void is yung sale, hindi po yung authority ng agent. Valid yung authority ng agent kahit anong itsura niyan. Alright? Pero ang nagiging void is yung sale of land. Alright? So, yun po ang important. Kailangan kapag may agent kang nakita, you have to realize na dalawang contract ang meron. Yung agency mismo at kung ano yung subsequent contract na gagawin ng agent. Alright? Now, so sagot natin dito A or B. Right? So, yung B, bakit yan void? Kasi remember, impossible services. So, wala na. Di ba? Wala kang subject matter. Alright? Tapos C, oral contract of partnership where real estate is contributed. Ito po, kailangan may inventory para maging valid yan. And clear po yun. Okay? Kapag hindi mo raw sinunod yung requirements pag may real property involved, sinabi mismo ng batas, void yung partnership. Alright? So, So again, number 15, ano yung valid? Letter A, kasi, I'm sorry, letter A at saka letter. Alright, number 16. The obligor is liable for a fortuitous event except one. Which one is the exception? Alright, so kailan daw siya hindi liable for a fortuitous event? So the sagot dyan is letter D. Alright? So tingnan mo, liable for a fortuitous event when the law provides, of course. Tapos deliver a generic thing, syempre. Okay, syempre. Kapag generic, di ba, hindi naman nawawala lahat ng generic. Tapos when the obligation provides, syempre, assumption of risk na yan. Okay, stipulation. Pero yung letter D, syempre hindi siya pwedeng maging liable dyan. Okay, kasi determinate thing, kapag yan ay nawala, ay di wala na yung thing na yun. Ano pang ibibigay niya? Alright? So, again, number 16, letter D. 17. There are cases when the loss of a specific thing, even in the absence of fault or delay, will not exempt the debtor from liability. Alright? Alright? They are. So, ang sagot natin dito, guys, is letter B. Lahat po yan. Okay, lahat po yan. So, probably familiar ka sa 1, 2, and 3. Alright? So, again, kapag ano yan, fortuitous event, alright? Normally, di ba, extinguished on obligation, maliban na lang, the law provides, if you stipulate, or from the nature of the obligation, involves an assumption of risk. Alright? Liable ka dyan kahit mawala yung specific thing by the, alright? Tawag dyan, fortuitous event. Okay? Fortuitous event to guys, kasi loss of a specific thing in the absence of fault or delay. So, fortuitous event yung sinasabi. Alright? Ngayon yung number 4, baka lang hindi ka masyadong familiar dyan. That is under Article 1268. Okay? Kapag po proceeds ng crime, okay, or when the obligation to pay comes from a crime, alright, criminal offense, ano po yan? Ay, dito, hindi ka ma-exempt from payment using or via a fortuitous event. Okay? By express provision of law. Okay? Kasi whatever the cause of the loss daw yun eh. So kung kahit mawala yung thing, even if it is a fortuitous event, liable ka pa din. Hindi po nawawala yung obligation mo to execute. Alright? Now, isang instance lang mawawala. Okay? Kapag binigay mo yung thing, kasi diba, criminal offense nga, so kailangan mo ibalik yung thing, or whatever it is na kailangan mo ibigay. Kapag tinry mo ibigay, and then, hindi tinanggap, nang walang dahilan. Ayun. Pwede, pag nawala yung thing, after ng incident na yun, tapos nawala yung thing, okay, by a fortuitous event, ayun na. Extinguish yun. Bakit? Kasi, wala pong justification na i-refuse yung delivery mo. So, ibig sabihin, nakamora accipienti na. Alright? So, siya naman yung nakadelay. Ayun. Pwede mo nang sabihin na, pag yan ay nawala by a fortuitous event, extinguish na ang liability na. Alright? Sige. So, tandaan mo lang yung number 4 ha. Kasi medyo uncommon yan. Okay? When the obligation to deliver arises from a crime. Alright? Sige. Number 18. Alright? Number 18. So, tayo. The creditor, ayan. In addition to the penalty, may recover damages and interest. Alright? Kailan daw? Sagot dyan, 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Normally guys, kasi yung penalty clause, substitute na yan for damages and interest. Remember ha, damages and interest lang po, hindi po yung principal obligation. Now, so, dapat, kapag substitute, ibig sabihin, hindi na niya pwedeng kunin yung damages and interest, yung actual, kasi nag-stipulate na kayo ng penalty. Okay? Pero again, just like any other concept in law, or many of the concepts in law, pag may general rule, syempre may exception yan. Ano yung exception? Lahat po ito. Okay? So, kailan daw, kailan ka pwedeng kumuha ng damages and interest kasama yung penalty? So, kukunin mo lahat, penalty, damages, interest. So, of course, number 1, pag stipulated. So, wala nang magawa, pumayag ka eh. Di ba, pumayag ka. Alright? Number 2, ito, refuses to pay the penalty. Alright? May penalty na nga, nag-usap na kayo, tapos umayaw ka pa. So what happened? Ayun, pwede ka ngayon mag-legal interest dyan. Okay? Now, number 3, ito, guilty of fraud in the performance. Alright? Ito po yung ano? Dolo incidente. Okay, dolo incidente, source of liability according to 1170. So, ayun. Pwede ka ngayon makakuha ng damages in addition to the penalty. Alright? So remember ha, anong concept natin dyan? Normally, yung penalty is the substitute for damages and interest. So hindi mo pwede, as a general rule, hindi pwedeng kukuha ka ng penalty at kukuha ka rin ng damages at interest at the same time. Maliban na lang kung pasok ka dito sa tatlong instance. Alright? Sige po. Sige. Next. Anong next natin? Yan. 19. Contracts are perfected by mere consent. And from the moment the parties are bound not only to the fulfillment of what has expressly been stipulated, but also to all the consequences which, according to their nature, may be keeping in good faith, usage, and law. Alright? Ay, syempre true yan. Alright? Dami sinabi, true yan, guys. Alright? So remember, hindi lang po kung ano yung nakasulat. Meron pa pong mga accessory obligations na, even if hindi nyo pinag-usapan expressly, ay kailangan mong gawin. And those things are described by statement 1. Alright? Statement 2. Real contracts, okay? Real contracts, such as deposits, pledges, and comodatum, are not perfected until the delivery of the object of the obligation. Ayan. So, true din yan. Kasi remember, di ba, meron tayong mga contracts as to perfection. Consensual, perfected by mere consent. Tapos, number 2, yung formal or solemn contracts, kailangan meron kang certain formalities na kailangan sundan for validity. And number 3, ito, yung real contract. So aside from COC, kailangan mo ng delivery of the thing or the object of the obligation. So number 19 po, both statements are true. Number 20, okay, the assignment or abandonment of all properties of the debtor for the benefit of his creditors in order that the latter may sell the same and apply the proceeds thereof to the satisfaction of their credit. Okay, so abandonment, yan po ay payment by session. Okay, ang ingatan mo lang, yung payment by session guys, madali lang naman siyang madali lang naman siya i-grasp. Ang kailangan mo na tandaan dyan is generally, okay, as a general rule, yung extinguishment lang ng obligation dito is only up to the extent of the net proceeds. Kasi di ba? Remember ha, hindi mo binigay sa creditors yung thing, pambayad. Okay, hindi yan yung pambayad mo. Okay, ang ginagawa mo dito sa payment by session ay inabandon mo sa kanila para ibenta nila. Okay, ibenta nila. Tapos, ang pambayad mo talaga is yung proceed. Okay, so ang rule po dito is yung extinguishment ng obligation is only partial. Okay, partial lang up to what extent? Up to the net proceeds lamang. Alright? So, kapag walang stipulation or when the obligation is silent, hanggang net proceeds lang. Of course, syempre, kapag ka nag-stipulate kayo na full na, wala nang problem yun. Okay? Stipulated na siya. Pero generally, up to the extent of the net proceeds. Alright? Number 21. As a rule, this contract of sale involving a piece of land is void. Alright? So, letter D po yan. Okay? Kasi between a minor and a capacitated person, voidable yan. Alright? Voidable lang. Kapag between two insane persons who did not act during a lucid interval, unenforceable yan. Tapos, first degree kasi, wala namang problema dyan. Ito pong husband and wife, bawal. Kasi, ano sabi ng batas natin? So, they cannot sell to each other unless there is a separation of property. Okay? Kapag either sa inyong marriage settlement, yung prenup nyo, or yung isa, judicial, yung pwede mo kasi gawin yun, ipa-dissolve mo na yung property regime, tapos maging separate na lang. Basta ang point is, kailangan govern sila ng complete separation of property. Doon lang po pwede maging valid yan. Otherwise, magiging void. Okay? So, number 21, letter D. 22. The X, 17 years old, sold to Z, of legal age or next